very warm welcome back to A Cup of Cozy. Emma, this is going to be a good one. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's nice. Me and you just on the sofas again, just having a little chat. And you know what I actually thought of a couple of days ago when I knew we was coming to do the podcast today is, do you remember I think it was our very first podcast when we was actually talking.
September?
Yeah, back in September
Yeah.
when we was talking about Molly-Mae, if she was going to be planning for a second, and we said, like, I actually think that baby number 2, I think she's planning for it. And then the announcement that came out, we just knew.
Well, she must have been pregnant then.
Yeah, I think we just knew. We just had this vibe, didn't we?
Telepathic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Were you surprised then? Probably not.
You know what? I would like to say no because of like when we did chat about it, and
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's always been putting this pressure on, like, is Molly-Mae pregnant? Is she going to have the second? But then I watched her show.
Yeah.
I actually watched her show
YouTube.
then, and
Or the
the
documentary.
documentary is it Amazon. I
Yeah,
think I would say it's
Prime,
Netflix, but it's
that's
Amazon,
it,
isn't it? And that made me then think, okay, you know what? She's got that much going on,
Yeah.
and everything in her career is just booming. Like, maybe she's still so young. Maybe that's a pun with the name. Maybe.
Love it.
Maybe she's not gonna. I think she might wait. So then
Yeah.
I was a little bit shocked.
Yeah. Well, I think as well, because she had those issues with Tommy and a relationship, I thought, they'll give it time. They were moving house. I thought it's going to take some time till they're back on track. But it must have happened in the midst of it all.
Yeah,
and it's so
and
exciting
she's-
for her.
yeah,
I mean,
she's
you
6
know what it's
months.
like with 2.
I know. I'm like, my goodness me, Molly, this is
Yeah.
a world to enter. And she's actually 6 months pregnant now, isn't she? So it's not really
Yeah.
that
Well,
far
I think
off.
as well, she's been really on her YouTube videos, which I love watching. She's really been honest about how tricky she found it having a toddler. So in my mind, I just keep thinking, oh my God, she's got like
I know.
another thing going on, as
Yeah.
well as all of the businesses that she's got running, and it's a lot going on, that, isn't it?
I was watching on her show about the whole potty training Bambi
Yeah.
situation, and we're currently in that situation with Tyler, my youngest. So when I was watching her do it, I was like, oh, this is actually really relatable. And I think she got like a little bit of scrutiny, didn't she, for like how much of the toilet scenes she's shown. But when I watched it, I personally felt like it really wasn't that bad.
No,
like
me neither.
bits were blurred out, and yeah, I know there's a production team that are editing, and there's camera crew, and there's more than what we see.
Yeah.
But I personally really like the relatability because I was
do.
in that moment
Yeah.
at that time with a bath scene and things. I'm not saying, oh yeah, that you should show children in the bath and things, but I was like, right, okay,
It's real life,
it's
though,
real
isn't it?
life.
Yeah.
Bits are blurred out, and like this is the sinking ship I'm in at the moment of really like struggling to do the potty training.
Yeah.
So yeah, I quite like that. But then it also made me realise, like, okay, she's soon gonna have another baby, and actually her age gap will be quite similar to mine.
Yeah, very
I think
similar.
it might be a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah, Bambi's 3.
Yeah. So
So,
it will be a bit bigger, which I actually think, in the grand scheme of things, for me, looking back, would have been easier
Yeah,
if
that's
we'd
what we're
left it a little
hoping.
bit similar to Molly
Yeah.
and Tommy's age gap.
Yeah.
I think, if you can get them in preschool first,
I
it's an
know.
amazing one.
Well, that's it. Exactly. But she did hide the pregnancy well, didn't she?
She did. I
'Cause
mean,
I think she
6
said
months.
a few people knew. And she said that they were at like, they were in restaurants and stuff. And she mentioned it to some of the waiters and waitresses in restaurants. I'd be thinking, oh my God, they're going to spill
I know
to the press.
I know. How
She
did that
just
not get
let
out?
it go.
I just
know.
thought
I've
that would
no
have done.
idea how.
Wow.
But yeah, or
She
was it a
did.
weekend away she went on, I think, with Tommy, and they were obviously saying she actually told them that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And they kept it a secret, which is just wild. I mean, how did you feel when you got pregnant the first time, about hiding it? Did you leave it a certain amount of time before
it
you...
was so easy for me because it was splat bang in lockdown. So it was just like cheat's way out.
Easy. What
Yeah.
about Tyler second time?
I think I was showing a lot earlier with my people say that you
Yeah.
show a lot earlier
Oh,
with
it's a
second,
thing.
whether
Muscle memory,
yeah,
innit?
I think so. No, so people act like I think I told everyone at 3 months. I just did the whole
Yeah,
tell people at
12-week thing.
3 months, but I did tell a few friends and things before that. But I actually when I was about 8 weeks pregnant, we went to live in St. Anne's, and I'm very, I mean, as you'll know, because you've followed me, I'm very
Yeah,
open on
you
Instagram about
are, yeah.
family holidays. I share what we're up to, like real life and things. And I just filmed some clips of this family holiday, and I had cycling shorts on and a little top. And when I did announce I was pregnant, when I was just gone 3 months, I actually had a few people message me saying, I knew it, I could
Yeah.
see it in your holiday
Same thing
pictures.
happened to me.
I was like, I was 8 weeks there. I didn't think I had a
one
belly.
of them, my friends actually said, Oh, I saw that you were on a picture. So I went on a hen do, just to Manchester, and I was drinking obviously a can of like fizzy water or whatever it was, and she said, "I knew that was you because you would have had a prosecco and you had a can." I was
Oh,
like,
okay. At least that's not saying,
I
yeah, I
mean,
saw a fat belly
oh, I
8
saw a
weeks.
big fat belly. No, I know.
At least you're just known as the Prosecco Queen.
Yeah.
It's probably a
But I
bit
mean,
better.
is there a right time? I know they'd like recommend 12 weeks, but is that a
I don't
thing?
know.
Because I feel like a lot of
It,
celebrities wait 6 months. I feel like it's been
yeah,
quite a common number. When I've seen
yeah.
announcements, they're always about 6 months along.
I feel like people wait a bit longer to
Yeah.
announce it. People hide it for longer,
Yeah.
basically, is what I've known. So do you wish you told people earlier, or do you think you did,
Well,
what was you, 3 months?
we told close friends real like immediately,
Yeah.
almost like 6 weeks,
Hmm.
like we knew.
Yeah.
But then I didn't do an announcement on social media or anything like that. I actually didn't do that.
Yeah.
It was just I ended up where people saw pictures of me with a bump and then
Hmm.
people messaged. But we didn't do an announcement. But going forward, I wouldn't actually be worried about it. I think there is that worry that you're going to miscarry or something's going to go wrong, and then
Yeah.
you've got
And
to
then you
tell
told
everybody.
everyone, and I
It's
totally
which is
understand that.
awful.
Yeah.
Especially if you have been through that.
Yeah. You want to leave
Um,
it as long as possible so you're not
yeah.
having that
But
trauma.
I don't. I just think crack on, like especially
Yeah.
offline. I mean,
Yeah. I
just
think
tell
it's
whoever you want.
situation dependent as well. Like, I always remember my sister, and I can't remember how many weeks she was, but she was under 3 months. And it was our best, because she's my twin sister. We have the same best friend,
Oh yeah.
and we were both bridesmaids. So it was on her head, and we went abroad for it. And nobody knew apart from me. And like,
So was she that early? How early would she have been?
you know what? I actually can't remember, but I think she must have been something like 8 weeks.
Right.
But it was the point where, like, we even had like a boat trip on the
Oh my
hen, and
God.
people, everyone was filling our glass up with prosecco, and I could just see her like slyly
Chucking it overboard.
chucking it overboard. So, and you look back and you're like, oh, if the hen just knew,
No, I know.
then we don't have to
Do all this
do
drama.
sneaky things. And it was like, yeah, or trying to order a non-alcoholic cocktail, thinking nobody would really check on the menu
Yeah.
what it was called.
Yeah.
But it's one of them. It's like she just really didn't want anybody to know,
I get it.
and it's. I guess it is the whole, if something goes wrong, which I
Yeah.
completely understand.
Yeah.
But it's hard to hide.
I know
So
it
hats
is.
off to anyone that does manage to hide it for over 3 months,
I know.
because I was dying to tell people by that point.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's if you're feeling well and unwell that can influence it. But I know
Yeah.
that Molly has said that I've watched her most recent YouTube, and Molly-Mae said that she has been feeling great and everything's fine. But if she's ill, because obviously you know how that feels as well, if you're not well in pregnancy and you've got a toddler,
Mhm.
is that like another level of commitment that is just
Oh,
inexplicable?
it is.
Just the idea of being pregnant and sick and having a toddler clung to your leg, whinging.
You can't
I'm
even,
like, I
you
can't
can't
cope with
picture it. I
this.
know the worst thing happened to me when I was possibly, like, I think I was like 7 months pregnant with my second. Um, and I went somewhere with Olivia, and then it was when there was like snow on the ground and it was icy, and she was just refusing to walk to the car, so I carried her and I fell over.
Oh,
I was completely on my
God.
own, and I actually like twisted my ankle. But when you're pregnant, everything goes
Everything's,
softens. Yeah,
yeah.
like you have no muscle strength.
No.
I totally did my ankle in. I remember hobbling to the car, put her in, and then I thought, oh crap, how am I going to drive home now? But anyway, the worst thing was I had another 2 months of being pregnant
Right.
with a 2-year-old and a twisted ankle. And it was just hell.
That's
And
hell.
then I just kept thinking, why have I done this to myself?
That's
It's just,
awful.
but I think if you get through something like that, I have to remind myself and be like, I actually did that.
I'm
I
so
parented,
good. You're a
parented a 2-year-old
superhero.
toddler. I was 7 months pregnant and a twisted ankle.
I know.
It was so sore.
Well, I think it's having that time when you're either ill or you're pregnant and you're feeling tired and exhausted, that time to yourself, which obviously when you have got another child, you don't get that time. But I was saying earlier that Molly-Mae, Bambi is in nursery,
Yeah, she
isn't
does do a
she?
few days at nursery. I
So
think
at
she's,
least
yeah.
in those days, she can maybe set aside time where,
Yeah.
because obviously she's getting heavier now,
Yeah.
she's got that time to rest when
Yeah.
Bambi's in nursery.
And where were you at with your nursery thoughts? Because you had said
Yeah.
that you were unsure about nursery. And
Well,
I think your family had said, like, oh, you don't need to send
exactly. So
Reva
she's
to
still,
nursery
Reva's not in nursery. We're going to try and muddle through till she's 3.
Okay.
So preschool. So a lot of the schools where we live, they have a preschool, which
Yeah.
is from 3+. So wherever it is she ends up going,
Yeah.
it will probably be back. So we're going to try and muddle through.
Yeah.
with the grandmas
That's
and
really
Nana,
good.
if we can. Of course, going back to it, it's all about the support because it gives us the
Isn't
option.
it?
Because
That's the
I've never
village.
been. I actually think it's great for the kids. I think she would love it. Nursery, I really do.
You see that now that it would
very
be
much
like
so.
a
But I just don't think it's worth it at this time. Because I take her to all the classes. She's at everything: pop cats, tumble tots, you name it. So she sees loads of kids a lot. She's very sociable. So I don't really think she's missing out.
No, and financially, it's nice to have that as well. If you don't have to
Yeah,
be
very
digging
much
out for the
so.
nursery fees from the early days,
Yeah,
it does help
very
as a
much if we
family.
can muddle through. But one thing that I am a bit anxious about, something really my mum mentioned as well, which I have mentioned on another podcast, is about nurseries and trusting what's going on in the nurseries, which is something that most parents have no choice in. They've got to send the child to nursery. They've got no other option. That is just the way it's got to be. And you've got to trust in that moment. But I absolutely agree that in my head, until Reva can tell me what's going on, it makes me really uncomfortable, the idea of leaving her.
Yeah.
Basically with a load of strangers.
And
Even
you're
though
not
they're
gonna,
professionals.
and you're not gonna know
I won't know
everything.
what's gone on that
You'll only
day.
hear it from one account, and I think that's what parents do feel funny about. Sometimes they're like, they said that, like, because it's an ongoing thing that a lot of children get really upset and they cry at drop off. And my eldest was terrible, so terrible.
Really?
And the amount of times that you were reassured, as soon as you leave, they stop.
Yeah.
And I like to
But the
believe it.
guilt, though, is
But
like,
you do always question it, and you think, but did they though? Like there's lots of times I loitered
be telling a big
outside
fat
the
lie.
door. Yeah, I loitered outside the building and
Just
the
to
door,
see.
thinking, I just don't know, because nobody ever said to me, you know what, she cried for 25 minutes after you left.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know, would they? Like, what good would that
Exactly.
do
Maybe
for them
they
to
think it's
tell
not in
me?
your interest to do that.
Yeah, but it does make you question, like,
Yeah.
and it's because like you say, until they're old enough to tell you their version of things, you only hear it from one side.
Yeah. So I'd rather her be older and speak and be able to tell me what's going down before I leave her anywhere. But it does take us on to the really, really sad topic about baby Gigi.
Tragic,
who was killed in a nursery in Stockport. One of my friend's kids actually goes to that nursery and absolutely loves it, by the way, and they've had a nothing but positive experience there. But in this instance, basically, Gigi, I think was 8 months old, and she was in a real distress, in tears, as babies do. And this particular nursery nurse must have lost it, couldn't handle it, whatever, and essentially suffocated the baby to death, which is, it's unbearable to actually think about how that could possibly have happened.
It's just, it's the most tragic thing.
But I think what's happening now is Gigi's parents are trying to bring in a law whereby nurseries have CCTV.
Yeah.
Inside and outside.
Yeah. I heard that too. I mainly followed the story of Genevieve when that happened with the suffocation. Again, it was suffocation, and you know, and there might be I'm not stating facts. There might be more to more parts of the story than what I know. But from what I know, it was the beanbag situation.
That's right. Yeah,
and was face down on a beanbag. And
yeah.
like, as soon as I heard that story, and everything, and I've watched the mum, and the mum, like, I don't know if you've seen any of her interviews. It just gets me even thinking about it. Like, she is so brave how she talks on telly. Like, she goes into like how much she is like campaigning and fighting.
She's on a mission, isn't she?
And for her to have to even be in that position is absolutely awful. And like, I am a mum that both children went to nursery. They started off doing 2 days.
Yeah.
Then they increased to 3, and my little boy does 4 now. And I can't even imagine that happening.
No.
Like,
well, I think as well because she was so tiny.
I know.
Like, really new. And it's a very young age to go to nursery anyway. So her mum was no doubt anxious about leaving her baby at that tiny age in nursery anyway. But what are your thoughts on CCTV? Because I think I understand that there's both sides. My initial gut was fantastic. Sounds great to me. If you've got nothing to hide, what's your problem? Get it on so that we can all track back. We can all see what's going on with our kids. But then the other side of it is, does the world just become Big Brother, basically, where we're just watching each other's every move? Has there got to be an element of humanity and trust?
Yeah, and
I don't know.
I know. I think This is like my initial feelings on it, and I don't know if I can't see them changing. Is after what has happened, like there has to be CCTV in nurseries
Yeah.
because otherwise, well, these tragedies shouldn't have happened
No.
at all. And would CCTV have stopped it? We're never gonna know.
No. Well, they're saying
But
it's for the early years as
yeah,
well. That they're not saying CCTV
yeah,
throughout. It's just for the really
it's
little kids
yeah
who
when
can't
you
report back,
exactly when
basically.
it does come from one
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Um, I just feel like I obviously just have the pain of the parents,
Me too.
and if there is CCTV, it helps clarify what happened.
Mm.
However, when I was looking at people arguing for and against
Yeah.
it, there is the whole like people can tamper with it,
Yeah.
or are people then not acting their true
Yeah.
personalities when they know they're being watched? And is
Yeah.
that actually like
But is
not
that a good thing though?
I
Because are you
know if
thinking, are they
it's
actually on edge a bit, which isn't the worst thing? Because it's
hmm
like, I know I'm being watched, so I've got to make sure I'm good.
yeah,
But then, would you want
yeah.
somebody who's not good enough in there
Yeah,
anyway?
and the trust as well. Apparently, there's like a big trust element with CCTV, like
Yeah.
because it's obviously videoing babies in the day.
Yeah.
Um, where will this end
Yeah.
up? Now, maybe I'm naive. I
Yeah.
didn't even think of that. I
Safeguarding.
just thought CCTV
Me
in a
too.
nursery stays there in the nursery, and if it's needed for like a court case or like God forbid anything that you wouldn't want it to be, but if it is, so I didn't see a negative of it when I heard it and thought, yeah, but I'm not someone that works in a care
I
like
know.
industry. However, like I do run the mum club for
Yeah.
Cheshire, and that we do mum events, and they're mainly in like restaurants, bars, Pilates studios, yoga studios. And I thought myself, how would I feel if the venues said to me, before you can bring your group of 15 mums and 15 babies into our vicinity to do an event, we want CCTV on the whole thing.
Mm.
In case something happens, so we
Yeah.
could see. And like if I think about that, like I don't have any reservation.
No.
And
It's
even
something
though
you'd be
that's
fine
a
with.
camera watching me work,
Yeah.
um I don't see any negative to it. However, you're then getting consent from all the mums because their babies are on a CCTV,
Yeah.
but it's for a safety reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just going back to the nursery, I am for it.
Yeah.
I am for it. I think it would
Me
give
too.
parents after these tragedies, it would give them a lot of, well, just a little bit more encouragement that they knew things were being
Well, I
watched.
think as well, we've got to be really, I mean, the vast majority, and probably 99.9% of kids are so happy at nursery and absolutely love it. And,
hmm
we've got to look at that side of it as
Yes,
well.
nursery's my village.
But you
Nursery
only
is,
hear about the
yeah,
worst
yeah.
things, don't you?
Exactly. Nursery has always been our village. So like I've always been pro nursery since
Yeah.
both of mine went, and like that remains. I didn't have a choice really for it to be another way, but like I mean my little girl, I wouldn't say she ever really loved it, but I don't think it was anything to do with the nursery. She was just always mummy's girl, like just
Yeah.
hated me going. My little boy loves going, and like
Really?
he's come on so well, and the
Yeah.
friendships he has, and like yeah, I mean, it's one of them. I just love to. I don't know what other mums like listening will be like with theirs that are in nurseries. I cannot get enough of photos and updates.
Yeah.
Like it's never too many,
Yeah.
and it
Me
depends
too.
per nursery what you get. And
Yeah.
like as they get older, it dwindles out, and I love it. I just want to
Yeah.
know what it's been up to all day, and I feel like I don't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Some nurseries I see get absolutely loads, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just want to see everything, especially when it's your first. Like when it's your first, you just you really want to know everything they're doing.
I agree. Definitely. I know.
It's a sad one, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I am pro CCTV nurseries. I don't know which way it's going to go though.
I don't know. Be interesting.
hmm
So watch this space. Well, if anyone's watching and you've got an opinion, because it is a really strong topic, isn't it? Because it really,
Yeah,
really is heart-wrenching what happened. It's
yeah,
horrendous. So you can't help but have an opinion
hmm
on it in some kind of way. So if you are watching and you do have an opinion on it for or against CCTV in the early years setting of
hmm
nursery, please let us know, because I think we love to hear from all of you,
yeah,
don't
and
we? We want to know.
especially from the people on the other side of it too. That there's things we don't know about, like the fees, financial side of running it,
Yeah.
and trust elements and things. So it's always good to hear of both sides,
It
really.
is. As always. Well, thank you so much. It's been great to see you.
Yes.
As always, we've got loads lined up, haven't we, for this year?
Yes.
Loads of good guests
and if
coming up.
if there's any guests or any experts that people would like to see on this podcast, absolutely let us know. You can always drop us messages on Instagram as well as on the comment section of the podcast. But we obviously like to bring guests in to bring education and information and entertainment to you mums out there.
Of course. I love it. Well, see you very soon.
Bye.